Hello? I gotta go turn on a light. Let me put this lobby on. I'll be back. And we're back with 50% more lighting. Sam, you're so professional. I got my Dark Lord hippie moo on. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the freaking world this finds you. Welcome to Vinyl Junkies Radio, your premier radio station on the Twitches and the YouTubes. No one does it like we do here. I'm looking forward to doing this one quite a bit, actually. We've got 3 old man videos this week. Last week's videos fucking crushed, dudes. I mean, both the Kendrick and the Rosalia. Thanks for your subscription, Incarnate. Both Kendrick and Rosalia had like between 150 and 200 people live during, both on Twitch and YouTube. So that was kind of awesome. I suspect that we're not going to get to those types of crowds here for Russian circles, but it doesn't matter to me at all. I want to listen to this record with a bunch of you together, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm a longtime fan of heavy music, and I mean, when you do a radio show like this one, right? Whenever there's a new record out, I always introduce you. Like generally, it's like maybe I'll play the songs before or whatever, and play some for the radio, play some for the usual radio show, which happens at night. What it is that brought me back to doing these old mans the way I'm doing them now, and for smaller bands as much as for bigger bands, is very simple. What moved me away from doing the old man is that it got too big, and I felt that it was, I felt the goal seemed to be to blow up the channel, and it didn't feel good. It didn't feel like I want to connect to the music. And parts of my decision-making started coming into the picture of like, hey, wait a second, the new Melvins record. Yeah, but I can't do an old man. No one's going to watch it. And I realized eventually that I kind of don't give a fuck. So as I gave up the old man completely, when I came back to it, you'll notice that I'll basically play whatever it is that I buy. If I like it, I'll play it. People who are curious about music are going to come and hang out no matter what the album is. They don't need it to be Kendrick. They don't need it to be The Smile, which is happening this Friday. Watch the crowds come in for this Friday. I bought a Russian Circles record. Why? Can I tell you why? Because I kept seeing people talk about how awesome it is. Now, I didn't read any reviews. I don't read reviews. I don't know. I don't like Pitchfork. I don't care for it. I'm not sure the opinion of some guy who runs a blog is more relevant than my own. And I think probably first and foremost, I prefer to listen to the music and develop a spontaneous reaction to it, whatever that reaction might be. So, I thought to myself, well, listen, if I'm getting all of these records and putting them in the archive so I can listen to them for the radio show, why don't I play some of them for you in their entirety and use the afternoon show for that? Then after that, once we're done, we'll go back to our regular dive bar show, and we'll, after having discussed the album, whatever album we're playing, I'll play songs that made us think of it, kind of thing. Make the rest of the show go in that direction. You know what I'm saying? Andrul! How are you, Andrul? Are you new here? Welcome, dude. Oh, you love my content. Thanks, man. You're new? You've been here before, I guess? You good? So look, basically what it comes down to is last year, or like during the first wave of the Old Man videos, I wouldn't have done a Russian Circles video. And now I'm all for videos like Russian Circles. And basically whatever the fuck I feel like playing. Because to me, the experience of listening to an album, almost any album, all together in a group is a valid experience. The listening party type of thing is a valid experience. We get to hang out together. We get to experience it in real time. Sure, you can play the goddamn thing anytime you want on Spotify. I get that. But there's something about listening to it all together and experiencing it together. How many of you are listening to it for the first time? For me, I think you know it's par for my course. I don't listen to the record before I do these old mans. So they're all first time listens. So if some of you come back and say it's my first time, but you like heavy music, for example, then we're probably going to have a good time. And if you discover an album that winds up blowing you away, then you're going to go out and you're going to go buy it. I mean, that's got to be one of the best fucking ways that you could possibly do something. So I believe in this, you know. Prior to getting the record, I didn't even know. I knew Russian Circles only name-wise, and even then, I didn't attach it to any genre of music, to any style of music. As a matter of fact, if anything, my preconception was completely wrong. I thought, and I still haven't heard a note of this, by the way, I thought that Russian Circles somehow would sound like some kind of post-punk synthwave thing, like Molchat Doma. I'm pretty sure that the reason that is because Molchat Doma are from, I don't want to say Russia because he didn't like it when I said Russia, Belarus, right? They're from Belarus, and Russian Circles the name. Listen, can you think of any... There are a million reasons why you think what you think, so that's what I thought. And then I started hearing people who, you know, that I talk to about music. Obviously, with a show like this, we're talking music all the time. And I start seeing names of people like Chubbs, for example, who I know loves heavy music. Start name dropping it. So to me, that's the kind of thing is like, oh, okay. That dude's never given me a bad suggestion on a record, ever. So maybe I should pay attention. So what did I do? I went out and I bought it. And then all of a sudden I saw a bunch of you make comments like ISIS and Godspeed, post-metal, or whatever. I'm good with all of it. I would have been good if it was a synthwave band. I would have been good if it's a heavy band. But I mean, if you're going to talk about heavy, then that's kind of my wheelhouse, right? I'm a lifelong metalhead. So I started doing a little bit of reading, and I asked, I actually sent Sergeant House a small little note saying, hey man, if by any chance you want to catch it, come see the content. Let me know what you think of it. It's radio. It's old school radio. Difference is that it's your album from your label that we're premiering. And, you know, who knows? Maybe the band will come and hang out. Maybe. I sent out the invite through the label. If it doesn't happen, who cares, right? But, I mean, we've had Joe Talbot from Idols hang out with us. We've had Andy Williams of Doves hang out with us. LP of Run the Jewels. They all seemed to dig it. And so, I did a bit of reading. And what it is that I see is that the bassist is also bassist for Sumac and Botch. Now, Botch is one of those interesting bands that I've heard a lot about lately, and how it is that they're releasing their first album in 20 years or something like this, that they're like pretty legendary. Cool. I don't know Botch. It's this year that I've decided that I need to know Botch. Because again, the people who I generally have commonality with when it comes to heavy music are just name-dropping Botch all the time. So, okay, I know I gotta go there. Then I saw Sumac. Now, I know Sumac. Pretty sure I've seen Sumac live. I got this one also, Sumac record on Thrill Jockey. I think this came out, I don't remember when this damn record came out. I bought it last year, I think, or maybe even this year. And I'm very much a fan. And it's kind of like that dark, sludgy metal with noisy ass vocals. It's kind of abrasive, but like not mall metal abrasive. Not, you know, more on the Khanate side of things, but not quite Khanate. Khanate is probably some of the most discordant vocals of any band that I've like listened to. I fucking love it though. It grates on your nerves, and I think that's the point. Every vocal is sung like the dude's on his last fucking breath before he dies. Anyone here into black metal at all? I just thought of something, and I'd really like to remember who the band is. There was one band, okay, whose singer or what's it called? Either the singer or a guest singer sang one of the songs while enclosed in a coffin. And as he's singing, the air is coming out of the coffin type of thing. Is this ringing any bells at all? Because I'd like to remember who that is. There was one singer who sang his vocals in a coffin, in a closed casket. All I know is that now all of you want to know who it is, right? Exactly. It was Onyebor. It was William Onyebor. It was. That's where he found Jesus, you know. Did you know that William Onyebor was a big Jesus freak? He found Jesus at the end. He was probably a crook during the entire time that he got his crazy equipment and recorded and stuff. His past seems sketchy. But at the end, he found God. The music always starts sucking when they find God, doesn't it? Except for Stryper. Stryper might have always sucked or been good, depending on what you think. I like him. Okay, so Jake Wynn says, great instrumental album. You see, to me, that's already useful because I didn't know whether to expect vocals or not. I was actually pre-gaming. I was pre-gaming with the sumac, as I was mentioning, and the vocals were quite abrasive. And I like that, right? So, I was wondering if we were going to get vocals or not. I mean, what am I expecting? I'm expecting it to sound like something in the vicinity of ISIS, Primitive Man, maybe a, you know, maybe some explosions in the sky. I don't know. That kind of thing, you know? We're going to start off slow. We're going to build. It's going to get heavy. Now, I mean, if that's the case, then I'm good with it, right? I buy tons of that stuff. You're saying it's a prog metal album, as in like there's a lot of like a lot of signature time changes type of thing? Is that what you're saying? Is that what it's going to sound like? Guess the song. Nobody, eh? Nobody, eh? Dave Flav, I already got new records. I got them yesterday, so I'll do a I'll do a what's it called? Not unboxing, but an album thing. I'll show you all the albums I got this week. Once we do this, we're going to go back to our regular show. The way it is that I usually do this, guys, is I keep it together for the YouTube, and then we stop it on YouTube and continue on Twitch. All right. So, if anybody is clipping right now, or if anybody's keeping timestamps, I truly appreciate when you do. They help a lot, and I use them. Like, if you leave me timestamps, I will pin your comment first. kind of thing on our videos. Show and tell. That's exactly it. That's what I'll be doing. Oh shit, yeah, I want to mention this too. Fuck, I don't know if somehow my stream deck started fucking blinking. You cocksucker. I wanted to play my stream. I wanted to point you to what do you call it? A Twitter poll. How many of you have our tweeters? Our Twitter poll is up. This fucking thing. I hate this fucking thing, you cocksucker. Technology sucks my balls. So listen. There's a poll there. Should I spend time doing four albums, 4 LP, and 8 sides of Kanye West? Donda. Yeah, and if you clip this shit and I use it on the, what's it called, on the whatever there, I'll give you a song. So go vote. Here's your button. Look at that, my buttons are working again. Here's your Twitter poll. If you would like to vote on Twitter, should VJ do Old Man Listens to Kanye West? Donda. Go cast your vote. I want to know. If you want it to happen, my suggestion is that you vote, because right now, the nays lead by almost 2-1, and there's 1 day left to the vote. Alright. What am I doing this week? There are other videos this week. Check out the week, dudes. This is what we're doing for the week. Russian Circles is happening today. We're on the link. Tomorrow we're going hip-hop with Danger Mouse and Black Thought. It's going to be a first time for me there as well. And finally, on Friday, here's your link. I'm expecting this will probably be, I don't know, popular or whatever. But Old Man Listens to the Smile. I put the links up there so that you can set your notifications if you want. Alright, so for those of you who clip stuff, if you can, just clip right now. Thank you. Timestamp, I mean. I'm going to start this review by doing a full product review. Tell you about the fucking record. Gavish. Okay. Here's where you get your album cam. This is the album cover. Right? Very standard direct-to-board jacket. Like, to me, like, this is standard direct-to-board. Okay? The art, I mean, and the layout is pretty minimal, but that's the band who wants it that way, and I appreciate it. I mean, I like it. You know, who am I to comment or like disparage somebody's choice in art? I think it's super tasteful. Okay. I am certain that there are a million different colors of this record. As you know, it's not something that I like too much, but mine is orange. Now, it's kind of slightly translucent, but not all the way through. I fucking hate translucent records with a passion. The reason is very simple. When I'm queuing up songs, you can't see the grooves properly. You can't see the splits. Are you looking on the groove from the other side of the record or the front? It's always a nightmare, so I don't particularly care for that. There's no liner notes. Or are there? Let me take a look here. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, so no liner notes. I put in my own inner sleeve here, inner anti-static inner sleeve. And the record's 36 Canadian. So $35.99 Canadian. On the expensive side of things. Now, I don't have a problem spending $35 or $36 on a record. If it sounds great, if I like the music, but it's more on the expensive side of things. So, now I'm going to take a look at the actual record, right? The packaging is standard, absolutely standard. The actual record I mean, just taking a look at the surface over here seems super clean. It's well, like, I mean, the what's it called? There's no flash in the center, so it's a very clean pressing from what it is that I see. What I'll do is I'll put it on the turntable and see what the edge. Okay, well, the edges are kind of rough. Yeah, the edges are fucking rough. And if I back it up, I think, are you able to see it? But the record's warped. Like 7 out of 10 warped. Which is to say that it's warped enough so that there's a tiny space that exists between the platter and the lip of the record at some points. So, I mean, from that point of view, I'm not pleased. Like, I'm not fucking pleased. I mean, you know? You gotta do better. Let me, turn off this mic. Now I hope that the label doesn't see this, and the artist, because they're gonna think that I'm trying to, you know, fuck them over. I'm not trying to fuck you over, man. I'm being honest. You know. This is actually the first time that I fuck around with the record. I cleaned it, but it's the first time that I actually handle it. So you're getting real time. What you see is what you get. So now I'm gonna take the tone arm and I'm gonna put it on the record, and I'm gonna see if the needle sways at all, to see if it's on center. We already know that it's warped. So, give me 1 second here. Okay, so slightly off center. In terms of off center, maybe a 9 out of 10, which I think is acceptable. What's not acceptable is the warp. I mean, it's fucking wobbly, man. I mean, let's bring it closer. Are you able to see it better like this? Yeah, okay. You see, if you pay attention to this edge here, pay attention to this edge here, and you'll see that it's dancing, exactly. I mean, why is that a bad thing? It's certainly not only for aesthetics' sake. It isn't. Think about it. The best way that a record could play is if the stylus is perfect 90-degree perpendicular, so to go straight into the groove. If that's not the case, then it's going to pull to one side. It's not going to sound right. So no, warps are a no-no, absolutely. It's funny because it's not what I would have expected, because I saw how clean it was. Usually, like, when it's really rough, you can see in the middle, there's like flash in the middle. Those are the shit guys. And then I touched the edge and was like, dude, this is pretty fucking sharp. This is one of the sharper edges. Like, I don't even put my finger completely on it because I'm pretty sure that if I put too much pressure, I may cut my finger. It's sharp. So, do you do this with your records? Have you begun doing this with your records? Let me know what your results have been. Now, one of you made a good point. Jake Wynn, can you put a weight on it to help with the warping? Yes, sir. So, I have a Nasotech record clamp that generally helps with the warping. It doesn't help if the record is bowled. It helps only on one side, right? Because if it's bowled, the bowl is upside down. When you put the weight, then it's going to weigh it down and it works. But on the other hand, if the bowl is up, there's nothing you can do. And there you go. So, expensive for what you get. Bowen says 9 Inch Nails records have been the best quality. 9 Inch Nails records are very well pressed. Like, Trent has actually delayed the release of One Records type of thing, specifically because he said he was not satisfied. He's there, look, I know it's frustrating. I remember this. I don't remember. 9 Inch Nails nerds will probably know better than me, but something to the effect that, look, I know it's frustrating that the record's going to be out for like there's a delay. On the other hand, I don't feel comfortable sending you what it is that we saw. So I think we need to do better. I'm sorry for the delay. Mars Volta, yeah, Clouds Hill, Mars Volta releases are fantastic. Those of you who are into jazz, the fucking Blue Note Tone Poets are the shit. But we're seeing that with vinyl. There's like, if this came out in 2022, this was pressed exactly during that big bottleneck for vinyl. So I expect that all of that is probably with staff problems, people being off with the gingivitis, people not going back to work. You know what I mean? It created what's it called? Obviously, problems with shipping materials and that kind of thing. It was bad. The bottleneck was very, very bad. Records were backed up for a year. I don't know if it's gotten any better now. But records were backed up for a year, and the demand for records fucking shot straight up. Why? Because people were home and had nothing to do. So people are just boom, 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 fucking trying to put out records. Like, smaller bands is like, well, I'm not even going to try. I got to wait a year. You know? And it got frustrating. It is frustrating for bands because bands who are trying to plan their tours around having, merchandise to sell are fucked. Are completely fucked. And a band makes money on merch. So, I mean, it's really nice to have another copy of Thriller. But on the other hand, you know what? The market dictates whatever the fuck it wants to dictate. Seriously. But I can tell you that Adele records are probably going to be like Nana Mouskouri records. Or James Last records. And yeah, pressing in 1,000 different colors doesn't make anything any easier. Every time you got to do that, you got to fucking clean out the hopper. All you're doing is, and the metal labels want fucking 18 varieties of everything. You ever try buying a record on Nuclear Blast or Metal Blade? There's fucking 18,000 varieties of a record. It makes me crazy, Christ. Bangladesh, the 2016 Pink Floyd reissues were good. Yeah, the 2016 reissues were good. The Can reissues are really good. The Kraftwerk reissues are really good. The Rush reissues are really good as well. I like the Rush reissues. People have complained about the Led Zeppelin reissues. I have 3 of them and I like them. The Jimmy Page remixes, I like them. But when it comes to audiophiles, sometimes they start getting snobby, okay? And they think that everything's got to sound like the, the fucking Ludwig hot stamp, Oh, yeah, well, listen, it's not as good as Bob Ludwig's fucking stamped version of Led Zeppelin 2. It's like, oh, come on, man. You realize that most people are listening to this shit on a stream? So I'm not an audiophile. All right. So why don't we get on with the music? Do you guys like the product review? You'll notice I shoot it straight from the hip, so honestly, maybe some bands will never send records to me. Specifically because, I'm doing the review right here, and it's of physical product. Why don't I review the music itself? I'll talk about it, we'll have a conversation about it, but it's art. It's like dancing about architecture, man. No, man. Let's experience it together and enjoy it, and there's no need for a review. The review is the conversation, to me. All right. What do you say we get her started? Are you ready? Russia is in the house. Hello, Russia. We are listening to Russian Circles. Are you familiar with Russian Circles at all? Thank you for following, new Twitch people. Russia, did you follow our channel yet? If you like what we do, subscribe to our channel also. Do you have Amazon Prime? So then it's free. Go subscribe to it. It's good for us, you understand? Alright, let's go started. After this, whatever it is that we talk about, whatever bands we name drop, that's what it is that we're going to play during the second half of the show. Okay, so Chloroform says that your favorite part of the show is the product review. Yeah. Yeah, and you know what's cool about the product review? Once you guys see what I do, you can do it for yourself. I mean, you can look at exactly the same types of things. You know? Russia, do me a favor, okay? Can I ask you to do me a favor, Russia? Can you do me a favor? Russia. I have a question for you, Russia. Can you do me a favor, Russia? Russia, do you know Rush? Russia, do you know Rush? How about Molchat Doma? Are they popular? I fucking love Molchat Doma. Can you do me a favor, Russia? You see that Twitch link I just put up? Go make a Twitch account too. Can I tell you why? Because once we stop with the review and we finish this record, we're going to switch over to Twitch and we're going to do the radio show. You understand what I'm saying? Russia! 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 Shatan? That was my special Russian remix for you. Like I just created it right now for you. It's the special Russian remix. Did you like it? Russia! Did you make a Twitch account? Yes, Russia! Shout out to YYZ, named after Toronto International Airport, or whatever that airport is called. Pearson International, the shittiest airport in the world. You want your luggage lost? That's the place. You want your trips delayed? And you want to spend an hour, you want to spend an overnight in a fucking airport hotel? Pearson International Airport is for you. It's for you. You know what's the second worst airport in the world? Pierre Elliott Trudeau, right here in Montreal. It's true. All right. We're ready? Let's get started, okay? Oh, by the way, you should clip that for our TikToks, eh? If the band happens to be listening or the label is like, fuck, dude. Stop talking, for real. Can you just get to the music part? You've heard the music before. I bought the fucking record. I'm going to start it when I want. The edible has kicked in. I've got some nice green with me. I made sure that I had a nice cup of coffee. What are you drinking on? What is your beverage of choice? Are you smoking anything? Are you imbibing? Tell me. Describe to me your scenario. Here we go, yo! Here we go, yo! So what's the scenario? What's the scenario, Russia? Scenario, what's the scenario, Russia? Fucking Russia. We ready for the needle drop? Alright, smoke 'em if you got 'em. Here is Russian Circles, Gnosis or Gnosis. This is my first listen. Mojito? What's going on, Mojito? Yeah, this is great. Sent a Twitch clip. I'll take a look. If I choose your Twitch link and upload it to our TikTok, I will give you a free request. A token for a free request. Yeah, there's like a caveman fucking stomping, woolly mammoth stomping in the fucking forest vibe to this. This is like Snuffleupagus rock. Russian circles is Snuffleupagus metal. You can imagine it. Think about it. Close your eyes. You can imagine the big fucking Snuffleupagus in the fucking forest with his giant tusks. I am Snuffleupagus. Snuffleupagus metal. But that's a good thing. It's a good thing. I like it. I love it. Already a banger with Jake. I love this. Snuffy the Mastodon. Fucking tearing pterodactyls out of the sky. I'm having some fucking pterodactyl chili. Pterodactyl chili for Snuffy. The Mastodon. Yes. There's a you're saying sleep vibes. Somehow I was thinking High on Fire, but it's just there's that fucking monolithic Matt Pike type of riffing that's happening. So I totally get where it is that you're saying Pike. I fucking adore Pike. Yeah, this is great. I mean, this is great. sounding all Jeff Hanneman. Like fucking Slayer. Not Rain in Blood, but fucking South of Heaven. This sounds like something that could come out of there. Soulful. Yeah, that riff is... Dead must be dead in my dreams. Listen to the hallowed screams. Death. This is great. Soundtrack too. I have the Doom soundtrack. Maybe we should play that. Hugo, Binomio, ¿cómo está? I have the Quake soundtrack. I seem to remember some kind of online element that had heavier music. Maybe I got the games wrong. Halfway through side one, man. It's pretty great. After the show, Jake. You can put in a request after if you want. Patron happy hour. All afternoon. It's Patron happy hour for the second half. $8 songs for the afternoon shows. Yeah, it's more metal, isn't it? Good afternoon, Poseidon. How are you? Are you familiar with Russian circles yet, John? First time listen? Yeah, here's that post-rock thing, right? Reminding me of mono right now. Sure, Mogwai. Mono just incorporates those strings too. What differentiates mono is their use of strings. We're gonna go post-rock today. That bass sound is beastly. Yeah, that bass sound is fantastic. I love the bass playing. I have rock action, Jake. Check the archive, it's there. Videos are back, Leland. Thank you to anonymous subscriber for the gift subs. I see you, man. Thank you. that, people. I'm thinking that you finally decided to come talk. Yeah, this is fucking great, man. Are you kidding? I mean, are you hearing what I'm hearing? As a fan of that kind of music, I immediately understand why, what the hype is. I mean, it's great. What else is there to say? What's interesting about this is the way it is that I'm able to pick out certain, like, I don't know. There's a Matt Pike element to some of the riffing that I heard specifically on the first song. On the third song, I somehow almost imagine Mike Scheidt of Yob doing that. Of course, Mike Scheidt's range is completely different, and I mean, from what it is that I'm seeing of Yob and Mike, dude's going through a transformation, so it's going to appear in his music. But yeah, there are caveman elements to this that I really like. The bass is probably the best sounding instrument on this for me. Like, the first song made me think, is he playing a Rickenbacker? It's like, this kind of sounds like Lemmy, and then it's like, no, it's not exactly like Lemmy. But it's similar. Makes me think of that band on Relapse that were basically Motorhead worship. Fuck, why can't I remember the name of that band? Relapse Records. The bassist went on to play with High on Fire, at least for a while. Okay, well, in an interview, the guitarist says he listened to a lot of black metal and Pantera. I definitely hear Pantera. I mean, there's riffing there. It's beautiful, chunky riffs. I completely get the hooks on this. I mean, it's the kind of band that I go watch live. I know what to expect. Doesn't matter. I go there with my earplugs and I let the fucking wave of music wash over me. I mean, it hasn't happened in years, but this is absolutely like the type of artist that I like to catch live. So if you do see him live, look, man, these bands need your support. Go check them out. Buy a t-shirt or something. Buy a record. Maybe your copy will be better than mine. Mine, product-wise, I mean, the music is on point. What do we play for the second half now? I mean, I'm going to do side 2 right now. But if we had to name drop a bunch of artists now, right? What artists do you see us playing in the second half of the show? What we'll do is be turning off the YouTube stream and then just going to our regular show right up to 4 o'clock. So for the next 2 hours on the Twitches. See, actually, can I say something, Jake Wynn? You're 100%. The Baroness comparison is exactly the same type of thing, but the Baroness comparison is even worse. I don't buy Baroness records anymore. Baroness records sound like shit. After, I think, the Yellow album, I forgot which one it was. The first two were okay. On Relapse, those were okay. But it seems like the further along that they got, the Yellow one or whatever was good. I have a booklet of it. It's really good. But after that, it's just, nah, come on, man. It sounds terrible. Which is kind of weird. Yellow and Green is the one I'm talking about. Thanks, dude. Your memory's better than mine. Yellow and Green, and I think I have the one after that, too. They're horrible. Like, I never listened to them. And it's a little bit of a surprise because I've interviewed him. John Baisley. And he's articulate. He's a smart guy. And he's an artist. He's an artist. So you would think that he'd pay more attention to the vinyl. The records sound bad. He's an incredible artist. Oh yeah, I've seen them a few times. They're incredible. There's no argument. Like I said, he's a really nice guy too. So, but I always found that odd when it came to Baroness. In the case of Gnosis, look, no, the record sounds flat, but I can't say that it's necessarily any different than a lot of records of this type. So, when you're listening to these smaller labels, they don't have huge production budgets. They don't, man. So they work with what they have, and I'm good with that. To me, that's indie. So I'm 100% good with that. The product aspect of it is frustrating to me. It bums me out because I'd like to be able to tell you that everything's good. But, I gotta tell you, CDs are making a comeback. Get the CD, it'll be cheaper. And can I tell you, CDs aren't as much of a pain in the ass product-wise. You very rarely get a dud. I know some of you have already, you buy CDs sometimes because they cost less. A bunch of things, right? But I get that. To me, the point's always the same. Support the band. Support the artists. They need you. What it is that I try to do here is a new type of radio. I try to present music in a certain way, much like John Peel or a Giles Peterson or anybody who gives a shit about music. So there's an artistry there too. I am working at my craft, and my craft is to provide you with quality radio to spend some time with. You follow? Poseidon makes a very good point, and that's why I don't hold that shit against any band ever. Some bands can't afford to press vinyl. Some bands can't afford fucking crazy mastering and all of this, so it's kind of, to me, I'm good with that whole part of it. I like shitty punk bands. I like shitty sounding music. I'm okay with that. But this isn't shitty sounding though. It's just flat. But you can tell that, if you listen to this live, they're gonna pummel your ears. Quick says that he likes the digital download link. You use it, eh? They've done studies on the digital download link that says that a really small percentage of people actually use them. Well, no, but Bandcamp to me is a different thing altogether. If you're talking Bandcamp, to me, Bandcamp is almost a community there. It's a more personalized experience. I'm all for Bandcamp. Bandcamp is where the bands are able to deal the most direct with their fans or with their supporters. So a small band can maybe press 200 records. Before you know it, that shit's gone. I got a bunch of those records, I know. Yeah, I'm a fan of Bandcamp. I've bought records off Bandcamp, and pretty sure I'll continue to do so. All right. So what songs should we play for the second half? Let's see what this one sounds like. I've got a few ideas. You're going to see me maybe move around a little bit as I pull some records. Actually, maybe I don't even have to do that because I already have Sumac lined up for the second half of the show. So we're going to listen to some Sumac. It's going to be one of those types of shows. If you want to make a request now, you can make a request now. Put them in. I'll go get them. Okay? It's Patreon happy hour all afternoon. So it's $8 songs. If you're picking long songs, give me the full 10. You know what I mean? It's kind of like just be fair with me. But I'm saying that because I know a lot of these songs are long. And yeah, man. Chris, we're doing Russian circles. I'm 100% sure that you would love this. Are you familiar? I hope you're enjoying your new job, man. At one point, you should give this a listen. It's good. Do you like Rush? Do you like Rush? Chris, do you like Rush? Chris, do you like Rush and do you like cowbells? You should listen to my Tiki Talk. I think there's something coming up. Russian cowbells. Do you like Russian cowbells? You see? You see what we just did there? It's the magic of marijuana right here. It's like fucking Sesame Street and the letters and the numbers. This is brought to you from a potent fucking sativa and Bliss edibles. You see what we just did that? Russian cowbells. You heard me do Russian cowbell. If the Russian circles decide ever they need a cowbell player, I am sure I am first in line. Let's listen to this second half, okay? I hope you guys are having fun. Smoke them if you got them. Here's your link to the archive, by the way. Thanks for the follows. Twitch, thank you for the follows. And thank you for the subs. Big appreciation. I looked for ping pong and still lost. I looked for it. Junkies Radio. what's perfect too, the whole record. Glad you're digging it, Stefan. We're here every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday in the afternoon at this time. Vinyl Junkies Radio. Twitch's most stoned out radio station. I play it all, and I buy it on vinyl. Vinyl. Considering it's all heavy music, I find that every song does have variety. It's a well-rounded album. Like I would go to different songs on the record up to now for different reasons. That makes it a pretty complete album. Anyone who said that they hear this as an album experience, I understand. That's one thing, the layout in terms of the album experience or the tracking of the songs is so far quite good. It works together, it's cohesive. You just ordered the record, eh, Poseidon? I hope the band and the artists, the label and artists see this, man. I can see why. It's for this type of music, for this kind of like post-rock metal thing, it's the best one I've heard this year, I think. I'm curious to know what your pressing is going to be like, Poseidon. Let me know. break. King Gizzard. Requested, I'll play it, Jake. You know what this drum sound reminds me of? The drummer of Helmet. Listen to the way it sounds like the drummer of Helmet. Like production-wise, sound-wise. John Stanier, yes, correct. Yes, this was produced by Kurt Ballou. This is my favorite track on the record. What's this one called? Yeah, this is my favorite track on the record so far. That's the tune, man. They're all good, but that was pummeling. Did you feel pummeled? reminding me of a band like Mono. Everything's good, Phil. Happy to see you here. Okay, so it's not just me that you got the Sigur Rós vibe also. I'm like, yeah, but nothing, it doesn't sound like Sigur Rós anywhere else, but yes. Honestly, Sigur Rós immediately came to mind also. The drums are never this pronounced, but I mean, it's a different thing, you know? You guys would like Mono. Mono's great. Explosions in the sky, sure, Gabagool, no doubt. I mean, Godspeed, of course. Mono's probably my favorite post-rock band. Like, they could do no wrong. Thank you for your subscription, Gabagool. Oh, thank you for the gift subscription, Wolf. Schedule on Friday, Gabagool. yeah, I mean, I know I asked you guys to remind me of King Gizzard. I'll tell you why. Um, this almost seems like what King Gizzard does across their fucking catalog, all on one record. What I mean by that is the way in which King Gizzard adopts so many different styles of music, and you can see that they're not just doing it like as a gimmick, like Weezer doing a metal album, almost, you know? You can see that, fuck, when they lean into metal, man, they lean into metal. When they lean into microtonal, they do just that. They're fucking phenomenal. They're absolutely phenomenal. And that's why I always buy their studio records, because it's just, fuck, what are you gonna throw my way next, you know? I've said it before, it's the same reason I collected all of the Frank Zappa records. It was the variety, it was the fact that he wasn't afraid to do a bunch of things. In this particular case, it's not like any, boundaries are being broken. On the other hand, I think, number one, as a full record, it works extraordinarily well. It's concise, it's not one of these overly blown out records, so I really like side one, side two. To me, that's perfect. And every song has its character. Every song has a different vibe to it. I can't find a better word for it, but so like if you had to give somebody, if I would like suggest this, for example, to somebody who says, okay, listen, I want to get into some new post rock. I like heavy stuff. Here, I've never heard of post rock before. Can you recommend something? No fucking problem. Do you like heavy also? Yeah? Okay. Right here. Pelican. Yeah, absolutely. You're a fan of Pelican, ISIS, all those bands. But the thing is that I don't think that they're being derivative at all. If anything, I hear like a versatility in their sound. Think about all the bands that we've name dropped up to now. It's not because they're derivative of any of them. It's because they're able to speak that language in that way. And they're able to mix it all in one record without sounding complicated and while providing a perfect flow. To me, this is the perfect album experience. This is why I buy records. I look for the album experience. The album experience, to me, most times, side A, side B. Once it starts going into fucking 1,000 sides, it's not me, man. It's like... So, yeah, I mean, immediately, it's one of the best records I've heard this year. And it makes me realize that I missed the idea of a new mono record. I might need another mono record. Are they releasing anything? Have you guys seen the Pelican reissues? The Pelican reissues are nice. Look at the Pelican. Go Pelican! Okay, listen. We're going to say goodbye to YouTube and continue our regular show. Can I show you how cool that looks? Can I show you? Look at the screen. Look at the screen. Look at the screen right now. Look at what happens with the graphics. What we do is, old man, we remove this. Look, it's gone now. And look at what we replace it with. Is that fucking cool or what? Big thanks to Michael Blumpy for the incredible graphics. And for, what's it called? And what's it called? Polam for helping me set everything up. Yeah, dude, it's great. So it's patron happy hour. Patron requests are $8. Did I shut this thing off on YouTube? I gotta shut this off on YouTube. See you guys on the other side if you want, okay? I'll put up a Twitch address right now.